If you invested in the Delicium node when it was below 5,000 nodes, you would have had an insane reward once that hit the exchanges. Similar, if you invested in the Sonoros node, now at 10,000 nodes, when it hit the exchanges, you could have ROI'd at many X your investment. If you invested at the Gala node, was at time of purchase $2,000, well now to get the same node would cost you nearly $100,000. Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about the Galaxis nodes, why you need to get in early, and as always, this video is not financial advice. Let's get straight into it. In this video, we're briefly going to cover the utility of these digital nodes, and we're going to compare similar node projects that have done very well in the past for early adopters. We're then going to talk about Galaxis, what it is, what it's trying to achieve, and some of the success that it already has. We'll focus on the Galaxis nodes, or the Galaxis engines as they're called. We'll talk about how they work, the earnings and the perks. And finally, we'll talk about how you can get hold of one of these, because you need an invite code, and I've got hold of one of those that I can share with you. I'll pin that in the comments and in the description if you want to get hold of one of these. Right, let's jump into the first part of this video. So digital nodes provide founders of a project or people that get in early to support a project with maximum returns for supporting that project. The best way to describe this is to look at some existing projects that utilize this model of a digital node. This project is Delicium. Delicium was a project which used AI to create what they called your AI twins. And so it allowed people to create their own AI twins easily, and then they were able to deploy those twins through different platforms like Discord or Twitter or some of the other platforms that are available online. So it was a project which was utilizing this and then rewarding people through crypto. They had something called the DMA. This was their digital node. And as you can see, over 14,000 of these were sold. The digital node cost around $1,000 when it started for the first 10,000. And then after that mark, it went up by 25 for every single one past that level. And the holders of that node, they got daily incentives. So even before the token launched, they received the token, the AGI token, on a daily basis. The earlier they were as a node operator, the more they would receive. They also had voting weights, enhanced staking rewards, and also they had additional rewards and NFTs that were dropped to them. You can have a look at that. When this price first launched of the AGI token, it was around 30 cents. Now there are some people that made more than 10x their return in the investment when they got in right at the beginning. There were some of the early investors, and then they sold when it was right at the top. Another example is the Sonoros node. Now Sonoros is something which a lot of people were talking about. It was a decentralized music voting and rewards app. So you can imagine at the moment when you are listening to music, apart from hearing the music, you don't actually receive any benefit, any reward, or any incentive. That money all gets shared between the artists and the platform, and usually mostly with the platform. So what they had was they had something called the DJ node, and the DJ node, similar to what we showed previously, they hit the 10K mark recently. It allowed users of that node to receive the revenue sharing on a daily basis. They got increased staking rewards, they had nomination power, and early airdrops. So they were receiving on a daily basis from the day that they purchased this node tokens. And when that token hit the market, so they only cost 600 USDT, after the first 1,000 it would increase. So you can imagine those who got in early were receiving the most. When the SNS token launched at the end of December last year, well, it started around 0.7 and it went down at the moment to 0.03. But those who sold at the beginning, again, you can Google this, you can YouTube it, people reported insane rewards because they got in early on this project. And holding onto the node meant that they can still get access to, for example, the early airdrops and some of the other privileges that are involved in this. The last project that I'll talk about was a well-known project, and that was Gala node. Gala node was a node which cost initially around $2,000, and now the cost of the node is around $95,000 or $94,000. So you can imagine the ROI on those who got involved in the Gala node at the beginning. And what happened with the Gala node was similar to all of the projects that I've mentioned. The Gala node is a slightly different project. It's tied to a gamifying. It's probably one of the most well-known, and the node sales have surpassed a huge amount. And the way that it worked was you got your node and it was hosted virtually. You didn't have to do anything with it. And a lot of people got an insane ROI on their node. And if we look at when the Gala node token went live, there was a spike. And again, those who sold at the top when it was around 0.7 cents, well, they were receiving anywhere between 750 to 800 Gala tokens a day. And there was a long wait before this launched. So some of them were sitting on hundreds and thousands of tokens, and they were able to sell them at a high, and they got an insane return. So that's an example of how some previous projects have done. But the key thing is that people earned a lot when they got in early. And as I can see here, we're still below the 10,000 node mark, and the price is not going to increase until we hit that. So let's look at the Galaxis project. We're going to cover what it is. We're going to cover the founders. We're going to cover what it works and some notable projects that they currently have at the moment. This is not a new company or organization. Now, the website says that it is building your unstoppable community, empowering communities with the Galaxis no-code Web3 platform where creators and members can transform into owners. So essentially, Galaxis is building a platform for people that want to create NFTs, creators that want to create them for their networks. It doesn't matter how big or small your network is, you can get involved in the Galaxis network. Now, they already have a number of communities that are active on here that I'll go through in a second, but you can see here what differentiates this project. They've sold over 225,000 NFTs. That is a huge amount, with 32,000 Ethereum on secondary markets and over 50 projects that they've served. Now, they have testimonials from some founders on some big projects like Chainlink, ENS, and Crossmint. One of the different things about a Galaxis is it allows creators within 2 hours to completely develop, create, and implement and launch their unique NFTs to their communities, where previously this would take over 2 months because you'd have to get developers involved and they would charge a lot of high fees. We're going to jump into the Learn section of the website where we talk a little bit about what Galaxis is. And I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll put links to all of this in the description. So as I mentioned, it allows people to create personalized membership cards for their community, from artists to athletes to companies of any size. And it's an easy to use web interface. They have the Galaxis platform. This is where communities can connect with each other. They have something called physical redeemable traits. So just imagine you're buying something and you tweak it and you change it. Like, for example, you're purchasing a hoodie and you can choose the design and you can choose what it is. Well, as a creator, you can create an option for people to click that on the platform, and then when you purchase it, that physical item could arrive in the post. Just imagine that as a concept, and you can apply that to anything like meet and greets and things of the sort. There are things like digital redeemable traits. There are online meeting traits. So for example, if you're a celebrity and you want people to be able to meet you online. So there are things like gamification traits. So this is where with the gamification, community members can engage in exciting games with the community creators. They've got discount coupons, marketplaces, and so on. And of course, every membership card can be topped up with GLX coins. And that's where the utility comes, because the node operators are going to receive that. Just looking at the white paper now, you can have a look at what this no-code platform looks like. So anyone, me, you, or anyone else can create these series of NFTs for their community. You can fill out the project information, the preferences. You can then generate your cards. And here you can even go into the traits. So this is when you can pick individual traits for each individual card that people can choose. And as I mentioned, this is the 2-day process, where previously this was a very long process. And they've also called something called the sticker book, which allows any membership card series into a digital collectible. And as you know, this is something which is very much the rage at the moment. Now, you might think, who's actually using NFTs? Who's making use of them? You just have to go to OpenSea, the third-party NFT marketplace, to see how much is being traded even now for NFTs. If you go to the Galaxis community page, you can see these are creators that have created their own communities. If I scroll down to the bottom, you might recognize Steve Aoki, who is a DJ. He's very famous for being one of the first to launch celebrity NFTs. You've got this, which is an NBA affiliated NFT collection. You've got a Mike Tyson NFT. And if I just go through the Mike Tyson NFT, well, one of the physical traits that they added on the token was that you have the ability to meet Mike Tyson and you have the ability to train with him and have the best experience of your life to go through, rounds of boxing with him, example. And you can see that over 784 owners of this NFT exist. And if you go through the NBA one as well, this also gives VIP access to communities. So if you are an NBA fan, well, it would make sense to purchase one if it was at a low price. Now, all of these purchases are going to benefit owners of this engine. Finally, we can have a look at the team. Now, the co-founder of this project, and all of these people, by the way, are doxed. You can Google them. You can find them on LinkedIn. The co-founder of this project, Andres Christoph, He is the founder of Galaxis, but actually he's founded a number of other projects. And there is a website here where there was an interview with him when he's talking about this. There's a lot of PR on this project. And he talks about how he was at Yahoo, and then he had a company called wiki.com that he sold to Rakuten. He was actually the first person to build an ATM, a Bitcoin ATM in Singapore. And he got him exposed to NFTs way before the hype. So he's been in NFTs for a very long time. So that's a little bit of background on the platform, on the team. Let's quickly jump into the Galaxis engine. So heading over to Galaxis Engines, what do you get for being part of this amazing project? Well, you receive the GLX rewards, you distribute launch keys, and you incubate decentralized communities. So what does that mean? Well, let's start with the launch keys that I mentioned. So as a holder of the Galaxis engine, you are a vital contributor. The Galaxis engines are the powerhouses of our ecosystem. If a creator wants to launch a community, they can't do so without a launch key. Launch keys are created by Galaxis engine holders. So if you are an engine holder, you're issued with a launch key. You can sell those launch keys. You can provide them to creators whichever way you want. And if you do so, you're going to earn launch key royalties from that creator for every single person that takes part in that community. Obviously, creators earn for community members that participate in it. Every purchase that a user makes, you also get returns as well. So the node operator is getting a multitude of returns. Some of the exclusive holder benefits, as I mentioned, is the daily rewards, the launch keys. You also get access to a bonus pool. The bonus pool is 400,000 daily GLX, which is not available to the daily pool. That's additional for the Galaxis node operators. And you also get voting weight. So that is the perk of getting involved in the Galaxis engine, buying one early. Now we're still at the sub 4,000 time, so I would still say this is an early time to get involved. I'm quickly going to run through the process of buying one of these Galaxis engines. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need 777 USDT inside your Polygon wallet. As I mentioned, that's Polygon USDT, not Ethereum USDT, so it's very important that you do that. If you have a MetaMask wallet, it's very easy to import that on the Polygon mainnet. You can see here that Polygon USDT or POS Tether USDT is available on most exchanges. You can get hold of it essentially wherever you want to get hold of it. The process of purchasing one of these is very simple. So you click on buy now and you'll see here the Galaxis engine. Now you need a referral code to be able to buy this. It's in the closed network stage. Lucky for you, I do have a referral code. Now for full transparency, I do get a kickback for when you use this referral code, but without it, you can't purchase it. And if you do use it, well, it helps the channel. Now, you have to tick this box that says I'm not a resident of any of these places. If you are a resident of those places, there are some people that just use a VPN. They've done it in the past. They use it many times. I'm not a resident of any of these places, so I would be able to tick it. And even if you were, you can use a VPN. And I've seen a lot of well-known YouTubers do that. So that's something you can do at your own leisure. I'm sure you know how to do it, and perhaps you've done it in the past. You would connect your wallet, and you have to make sure that you have the Polygon network added, and you have to have at least 777 USDT in that wallet. Have a little bit of Matic as well, just to help with the fees. But the fees on this is always going to be super low. Connect to your wallet, and all you have to do is sign the transaction. You got to click on these terms and conditions. It's a really simple form that you go through. Obviously, I'll let you go through that in your own time. You accept all, and then you'll just need to sign through. Once that's gone through, that's it. You're confirmed, and you can just check on the website on a daily basis just to make sure that you're getting your daily returns. And that's it. Now, what I advise you to do is keep updated on the project, connect to the Discord, to the Twitter, find out when they're listing, and that way you're going to be in a better position once that gets on board. Hopefully that's useful. Hopefully some of you get great returns on this project, and I'll catch you in the next video.